Complicity and corruption are a major part of the problem, but here in the vicinity of Hong Kong, complicity with piracy seems to have reached sublime levels.
Sun Kong number 8, Sun Kong number 8, this is Hong Kong Marine Rescue, Hong Kong Marine Rescue calling, how do we over?
Hong Kong Marine Rescue, this is Sun Kong number 8, reading you loud and clear. From 2006 to 2055, our vessel was chased by a speedboat and shot by machine guns. We were ordered to stop. The boat came alongside and 2 armed soldiers jumped on board.
This is no ordinary pirate attack. The attackers in this case are the Chinese Navy. The Sun Kong number 8, a Hong Kong registered vessel, was more than 500 kilometers from the coast of China when it was attacked by the Chinese Navy. Small cargo ships like the Fairwind were first to bear the brunt of increasingly aggressive Chinese anti-smuggling patrols. Its Burmese chief officer is Hutun Yi.
Hong Kong
just forced their way on board.
Captain, the cargo PC Baba Lesser made it. Car laser is pare. The cargo documents are vessel each on a top like that. Top through Chibi, through a castle, we castle at China through a motor castle at China through Ganaya, through young one to our machine.
The Chinese soldiers forced the Fairwind into the nearest Chinese port, where the crew were interrogated and detained for 2 months in police cells. This is what the Chinese patrols are after: cars and electronic goods. Their military personnel work on a bounty system, keeping a proportion of anything they seize. In pursuit of this lucrative sideline, Chinese forces are no longer content to wait until ships come into their own territory. So where was your boat when you were attacked by the Chinese?
Police area, I looked at. I'm a through the sea of thing and a solve candidate through the Yao, the mainland area, the bed, which are not Piara, the Niao, where to show you a Piara. I look at the Niao, Piao, Lamamato solution, General through my father at another lago, the who PC the Puna, champion, I met Lala, Twitter, General, the Yama, Lamato.
Chinese intelligence on ship movements out of Hong Kong harbour is pretty precise, and their informers all too plentiful.
Police officer to mobile phone telephone number pay to pay like me. More beijing to locate the chain. I mentioned the telephone number you get, but I know the more of yellow. I know that don't know general locale. The child will go, General, the Modaria logo. You get it to our Chigon General Charlie.
The experience of the Fairwind is by no means unusual. State-condoned piracy has become all too common, with smaller vessels from weaker flags being the main target. In April 1993, 3 Vietnamese vessels simply disappeared after reporting being chased into Hong Kong waters and boarded by Chinese security officers. This is where most of the intercepted ships are taken, just around the corner from Hong Kong into Chinese territory. More than 30 ships have now been attacked in this way, and as the Chinese Navy's appetite for bounty grows, they've extended their attacks to larger vessels from stronger flags. After attacks on their vessels, Vietnam, Japan and Korea have all complained to Beijing. But it's the Russians that have suffered most at the hands of the Chinese Navy.
Up to 24 of their ships have been attacked this year, attacked by the Chinese. The Russians have made representation to the Chinese government, but as that response that they required hasn't come, they have now put their own fleet there, their own warships in that area.
Washington has now grown so alarmed at the risk to US-flagged ships that it's issued a strongly worded warning to them. The memo, quoting US Navy sources, warns that incidents of armed attacks and seizures of foreign vessels have been occurring in the vicinity of Hong Kong, carried out by Chinese personnel operating unmarked grey-painted patrol boats, who have been firing upon, interdicting and detaining merchant vessels. The US warning makes clear that these attacks may be officially sanctioned and not random acts of... We've tried in every way possible to get some reaction from the Chinese authorities to these attacks, but they've refused to speak to us. So what action is being taken to protect merchant vessels? The Royal Navy has the biggest permanent seagoing presence in the area. Legally, navies have an obligation to assist merchant vessels attacked on the high seas. But it's an obligation to which the Hong Kong squadron seems somewhat reluctant to commit itself. If the Chinese Navy were to board a ship in international waters and you received a distress call from that ship, would you act?
We're hypothesizing individual situations. I mean, that situation, tell me, where does it happen? How far away is it? Do we know what's going on? How much evidence is there? I couldn't give you an answer to a single situation.
If it were within reach and you were sure that undue force was being used?
Well, yeah, we'd put a cutlass between our teeth and we'd go swinging through the riggings just like people used to do 200 years ago. I mean, I cannot give you a hypothetical answer to what is really just a single one-off question.
Members of the Marine Unit of the Royal Hong Kong Police carry out their anti-ship attack drills. But these units are of little help to victims of piracy. They concentrate instead on chasing illegal immigrants and smugglers. The South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's main English-language daily, was quick to detect a pattern in the rising number of pirate attacks in the area. The paper was condemned by Beijing as anti-Chinese propaganda. The Post also uncovered evidence that the Hong Kong government is deliberately downplaying the seriousness of the problem for fear of antagonizing Beijing. You've seen a leaked memo to the governor's office. What did it say?
It was a memo from the security branch to the governor, Chris Patton, headed up the line to take. And it essentially said that the interception campaign was geared to Vietnamese ships who were shipping goods legitimately from Hong Kong to Vietnam. Hong Kong's reputation wasn't at risk. This came at a very crucial time, and there was genuine feeling within government that it was firm evidence of the head-in-the-sand approach.
The Hong Kong government says there's little they can do in any case to help ships attacked by the Chinese.